Yeah, come walk with me. Save your feet and toes. Yeah, I said, come walk with me. Save your feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking, y'all, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Yeah, come walk with me and save your toes and feet. Yeah, I said, come walk with me. Save your toes and feet. Cause when you walk with me, you can eat the food you want to eat. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking, y'all, they cut me up until I'm just a nose. Got that right. Hey, let's go on a walk. I'm walking, y'all. I'm having mass issues, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'm having mass issues. I'm having anxiety issues. The mass bandit is back. Thanks for coming on the walk. Line up if you're walking wall to wall. Oh, get your weights. Oh, behind the scenes, I don't like when it starts out with the behind the scenes picture. Oh, let's get this party started. Oh. Oh. Let me get this camera. Okay. No. I'm so far from. Okay. You know, this could be. You have good hair days, you have bad hair days. And for me, this is looking like a bad camera day. One, I'm in the frame. The other, I'm not. Let's see how this is going to work. Y'all keep exercising. And this could also be my anxieties that has kicked in. Because I have to go to the dentist just to pick up my partial, but I have to go nonetheless. And I can't even tell y'all. For some of y'all, going to the doctor is a great experience and healing and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's like if I have to walk through an alley to get to the main street. Now I can walk a dark alley. Now I can walk down that dark alley really well and nothing happens. But there's always that chance of something happening to me when I walk down that dark alley. And going to the dentist, I already been scammed. Remember the antibiotics thing? I still think it was only for the born in blood inmate criminals, African Americans. We never did anything to them, but our ancestors did something to the king. They're close to 1,000 years ago. But they still hating on us. On this penal colony. Yes! So, I was mad before. I was like, how could they take advantage of me? How could they do that? And I have come to understand that it was mostly people of color who went through that whole antibiotics thing. And then with the dentists, the doctors, and the pharmaceutical companies. So I already been scammed by them. And I know now it wasn't a scam. People in prison, remember I said, if you don't believe we're on a penal colony, look at how we're living and just take it to a smaller part. Look at the prison system. They had a right to experiment on me. They had a right. They experiment on inmates all the time. There was a time I heard, they used to take saltpeter and put it in all the food. They experiment on them all the time. And they can't say anything. So that's why. So I was in a 30-year experiment with the medical field, the dental field, and the pharmaceutical field. So when I have to go deal with them, my anxiety kicks up, my blood pressure goes. It's like if somebody said, you walk out that door, I'm gonna kick your ass. That's how I feel when I'm going. It's like, you're going to get your ass kicked. You are going to get your ass kicked. And I'm like, oh no, I'm too old. I am too old. And my daughter doesn't understand why I want to put money in and get my car back on the road. No. I'm an inmate criminal. They're allowed to scam me. Ain't no lawyer gonna back me. They ain't gonna support me. No. Putting that car back on the road would open me to going to the garage. Oh, why can't they have something in the car that when it acts up, a lady can take out the little disc, put it in the computer, and they'll say, this is wrong with your car. Get them to put this in. It will cost about this, and this. Then I can get a car. But I'm telling you, when they see me coming, they be saying, oh hell, that's that vacation I wanted to take. And it's legal for them to do it. I'm a criminal inmate. I won't be able to afford it. So, I don't want that. And having that car, or trying to keep that car on the road, or any car on the road, would subject me to going to a car dealer, mechanic, and I gotta say, since I've had cars, I've only had one mechanic that has ever fixed it. Like you took it to them, they fixed it, and you never had that problem again. But everybody else, whew, and especially now, last time I tried to get that car up, let's put it like this, vacations they had. So, no, and then another reason why I don't want a car is because it's subject to put me into contact with these patty rollers. I don't want to be in contact with them patty rollers. If I'm in a car, they can pull me over, they can drag me out the car, they can stomp me. They have no respect for old African American anybody. No, not on this penal colony. Now let's look at the prison. In the prison, like the brick and mortar prisons, they know the inmates and the COs and stuff. They don't have any respect for the older inmates. So they moved them. They put them in a place where it's just a bunch of them. But on this penal colony, you don't got that. And you don't want it. So I don't want the car on the road. I don't want them to come out and say, whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't want that. So that whoop, whoop means that your ass gonna be dead, bitch. See, y'all hear it differently. Y'all hear, oh, safety officer, I must have made a wrong turn. I don't. I hear Jody Weatherspoon's voice saying, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. So I don't want no car on the road. I'm good. Once you know where you are, you know how to work it. No. Mm-mm. No. Some anxieties up. So then I'm wiped out. I'm wiped out. After, it's not until later today. So I started wiping out yesterday. Oh my God, you gotta go in there. Oh my God, you gotta do this. Don't let them touch you. Don't let them do this. You gotta put this thing in yourself. Just let them look. Don't let them touch anything. They're gonna break something. And then you're going to have to go back and you have to pay all this money you don't have. It's a setup. Hurry up and get in and get out. That's how my mind works. You know, I've taken dogs to veterinarians. And I see the tender, loving, and firm way they deal with the animal. I've never experienced that. I leave the veterinary office almost in amazement. I'm like, wow, so gentle with you. Oh, of course, the animal will bite. I bet you if they thought I'd bite, they'd be a lot better, huh? So, sorry, y'all. I just got to deal with my anxieties. I had them on Tuesday. You just never know. You know? Like this podcast I listen to, especially with that Murdoch thing. And she always does this history of like the rock and roll and, you know, the music and what came number 1 and came number 10. And I always have to fast forward past that. Because I have to remember, they didn't put our music on the radio. So of course that song is number 1. Because our music wasn't allowed on it. I mean, now it's different. But she's going back to the old rock and roll stuff. They didn't want to play rock and roll either. But they definitely didn't want to play ours. It was James Brown that bought the first radio station. I remember when I was in college in Knoxville, Tennessee, that was all the rave. Let's listen to James Brown radio station, James Brown radio station. And we just listened to it and danced, and it was so good. So they didn't want those songs to come in competition. So yeah, you can say, oh, that's number one song. It runs rock and roll, they know that. But no, because the competition wasn't allowed on the radio. So who's to say you'd have sold all those albums? Then it was hard getting albums and everything, y'all. But I totally understand it. I totally understand it. Let's look at the penal colony by looking at the small prisons. There's commissaries. And sometimes the commissaries have stuff and sometimes they don't. I'm just saying, before you say, oh, it's not a penal colony, just look at how the prisons are run. Look at the wardens. Look at the COs. They have a whole board there. Almost like a whole legislation. Yes. Oh, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Let's get some water. Yeah, I said I'm walking, y'all, trying to stay ahead of the sugar cane. If I stop walking, y'all, the cane gonna trip me up. Yeah, come walk with me. Save your feet and toes. Yeah, I said come walk with me. Save your feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking, y'all, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Yeah, come walk with me and save your toes and feet. Yeah, I said come walk with me. Save your toes and feet. Cause when you walk with me, you can eat the food you want to eat. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking, y'all, they cut me up until I'm just a nose. And you know that's right. Listen. I'm walking, y'all. Ain't Deion Sanders down a few toes? So you know I'm telling the truth. Ain't Deion Sanders down a few toes? Huh? Ooh. He should be walking. Trying to save his feet and toes. All right. I don't know why I'm having all these. I totally know I'm having issues because I'm having anxiety issues. So when you have anxiety, nothing goes right, nothing stays right, nothing does right. Oh! If I could just stay out, if I could live on the penal colony in my house, but not have to be in the penal colony. I'm so glad I was young and dumb and really didn't know, on the one hand. But I appreciate this human experience. I mean, I was in it from the beginning. I'm talking about stuff like I wasn't locked away and shied away from it. And no, I was in it 100%. I could feel all the dangers around me, not understanding why the dangers would be around me, but knowing that they were constantly around me. But you just, sometimes you just fall for the lie. And even when the truth is right there, you say, no, no, no. But I think it was little Irma. I could still hear her voice. She said, Vicki, what did we ever do to them? Oh, my eyes well up with tears, even when I think about it. And I remember just saying, I don't know, Irma. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I said, Irma, relax. This is just a penal colony. Don't believe the lies and all this independent and all this bullshit. They're not doing anything to you other than what's expected to be done on a penal colony. No, you ain't break no laws. No, you ain't never been to jail. You ain't never killed nobody. You ain't never kicked nobody. It doesn't matter. Over 600 years ago, our ancestors fired up Europe. Ruled in everything, they said. And that king put us over here and all those other places that he had his penal colonies. He made sure that descendants hundreds of years in would suffer because of the attacks on Europe that the Africans did. I ain't mad at them. Way better than attacking than what we're doing now. Now we getting stomped out in the playground. So, well, I just told her, no. Keep trying to do what you're going to do, but no. That's what the ancestors said. You got to try 10 times harder. You just can't do so-and-so. You got to do 10 times better. You got to work 10 times harder. And why did they come out and say, child, this is a penal colony. You're here for punishment for something that was done, your ancestors did over 600 years ago. If you want to make it, that's why you try 10 times harder. Because that's what it takes on this penal colony. The odds are stacked against you. Your ancestors are the reason that this penal colony exists. So you're villain by blood. You're vilified and labeled. So that's why you work harder. That would have been a hell of a lot easier to understand than what they said. Oh, because your skin is black, you gotta work harder. Because your skin is black. I can never understand that. What does this color of my skin have? This makes no sense. But, penal colony, a lot of sense. Put a label on my skin. You labeled my skin on this penitentiary, on this penal colony. And that's why I have to try harder. And that's why I said open up them borders. Let every South American in, because I remember when they did everything better than the African American. They're more reliable. They're better than. They can teach the kids Spanish. We speak Spanish in our house now because we have Maria in our kitchen. And she babysits the kids. Didn't want them dog criminals by blood and by label. No. Now all of a sudden, they scum over your foot. But back then, they was, as they say, the cat's meow. Compared to us. Why they keeping Jamaican Haitians out? Don't know. Open the gates, let them in. You said they was better than African Americans. You said they were smarter. You said they work harder. You said they weren't lazy. And that's why you wanted them in the workforce. And that's why you didn't want us, because you told them we were lazy. We were. And now you don't want to let them in? Why not? Why the hell not? Oh, y'all want us to work on the farm? No! This penal colony made sure we didn't have farms. There's like maybe 2,000 farms on this whole penal colony compared to like the million owned by the Caucasians, the whites. On a penal colony, you cannot grow your own food. Collectively, okay, let's go back and look at the prisons. Some prisons will allow you to grow fruit. Vegetables and something, and then they subsidize it with the kitchen food. But some don't, because they want to control. They know if they control the food, they control the person or the man. So that's why I laughed all the time. China's like, get back up in the hills, grow stuff. And America said a long time, not these inmate criminals born in blood, whose ancestors did something to the king over 600 years ago. So inmates aren't allowed to keep their own gardens. And there's not going to be enough farms where African Americans could just feed themselves. This is a penal colony. It's not going to happen. You control the food, you control people. So, and the fact that we don't learn all the 4 H's and all that stuff out there in the Midwest, honey. In some places where there's a large population of us, you'll see a few dots going to them. Of course, they have the black rodeo and stuff. But if we raise our own cattle, penal colony ain't going to do that. The penal colony ain't going to do that. The penal colony controls the food. Let's look at the prison. How can you judge the big picture? Let's look at the little one. They're not allowed, inmates and stuff, they're not allowed. They let them start training dogs. But then, and maybe someplace deep in the heart of whatever, but they don't do cows and chickens or anything like that that can feed them. In the prison, the control is the control of the food. Now, they can make it into all different things, but the control of the food is the wardens and such. Now, let's look at the penal colony. Same thing here. If we had farms, we would buy from our farmers. No. We would have some modicum of control over our food. Not on the penal colony. In a nation, yeah. Like the Chinese, like, go up there. Y'all farm and make food so we can all eat. America would never say that. Not if it takes this or any born and bred African American. Kids can learn farming. They can grow farm anything. It's in their blood. But not on this penal colony. No. There'll be a few. Just like in a Match Game in Hollywood Squares and the Newlywed Game. First it was like 3 couples, all white. And then they started putting in 1 black couple. And I can tell you, it had to be 2 to 3 years before we saw the first black newlywed win. I hope all those TV networks fall in the stream. I love me some YouTube. I hope all those vile, disgusting, because you see they couldn't win. If you saw something on TV and there was a black person, they was going to die. They was going to die. They was going to be the first to die. If you saw them as a contestant, they'll be the first to lose. That's the filth. Anyway, it's not filth. This is a penal colony. It's the training that they gave us. Okay. Whew. I can't wait to get out this mask. Okay. Squeeze your gut. We got 8-pound weights. Squeeze your gut. Tuck your elbow. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh! I can't wait to get rid of this mask. Oh, I got the fan right on me. Oh! No walk on Thursday. Tuck in your elbow. Squeeze your gut. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't wait to get rid of this mask. Woo! Well, I'm going down the alley to pick it up today. Hopefully, I'll make good. Whew. And then I run back in this house, and I lay down and I pass out. My anxiety will be wearing me out so much. So much, y'all. Whew. So, like, comment, share. Tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. Be good to yourself. Love yourself. Put yourself first. Because if the only person that can roll a boat dies, the boat's adrift. So take care of yourself first. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Have a great day, and thanks for coming on the walk.